guys, we've got Leon Smith, 39. Leon's a counsellor, helping people get through their mental health struggles. Leon's also worked in a tackle shop in the past and is a keen angler. And he's going to tell us a little bit about his own mental health and how fishing's helped him. And like I say, how he's helping other people now. So, how's it going, Leon?
Yeah, great, Dave. First thing, thank you for having me on. I think it's great what you're doing, trying to invest, back into the communities and help people with the mental health via the medium of fishing. I think it's inspirational what you're doing. So, big shout out. Thanks. Thank you for having us on, mate.
Yeah, no, thank you for coming on it. It's giving not myself, it's giving other people that platform to air their thoughts about their mental health and stuff. It's not myself who can necessarily help others. People might relate to your story and, pick up on that as well. So thank you to you. Do you want to just give us a little bit of a background about yourself, how you got into fishing?
Yeah, so I'm from the northeast originally, from a place called Stockton on Tees. Grew up in a one-parent family, lived on a council estate, didn't have much money as a kid. Unfortunately, I lost my father when I was young, about 12, and my mother's been quite kind of unwell throughout her life, so quite turbulent, quite chaotic. And looking back, not much kind of consistency, really. I don't know what it is about fishing, but I've always kind of had this burning desire to go fishing. I remember as a child, trying to get into it and finding it kind of increasingly hard to get into it, to know the tackle, to know where to go fishing, and just kind of really struggled, really. Until I got recommended a shop, which was kind of on the other side of town in a place called Thornaby. So I think I got the bus over with my cousin or something. It was a place called Cleveland Angling Centre. So big shout out to them lads and Peter Rambo there, and another lad, Chrissy Hawks, who's a great lad. And I remember going in there as a kid and just kind of getting embraced, really. Meeting kind of other fishermen, getting given advice.
Was that a Saturday job?
This was kind of like before the Saturday job. I started off kind of going in and showing interest, and as I kind of approached them and kind of showed interest, I was always kind of received warmly with a bit of love. Kind of all the lads were really kind, and it started kind of building from there, really. And then I remember kind of going through school and like work experience, and I went and done my work experience there, and then I got offered a Saturday job. So for me, it was such a golden opportunity. They were giving me, my bait free. I was getting my gear at kind of cheaper prices. Just always kind of getting looked after, really. So that kind of got me into kind of fishing. But looking back now, fishing's just been so therapeutic because it's kind of been the only element in my life and thread which has been kind of like quite consistent, really. When I was young and I was going through my own kind of personal struggles, I'd lost my dad at 12. My mum was quite unwell. I felt quite alone, felt I had nowhere to turn. And before I could drive and actually match fish, I'd go and sit behind the lads when they were fishing and, just talk about my worries, talk about, kind of girls, what I'm going to do in the future, just everyday kind of stuff, really. So
it's that community, isn't it? And engaging with other people, and it's amazing how many friends you do meet through something you love as well.
Oh, massive, and I wouldn't have met this kind of thriving community and the lads that I did meet, kind of like on the street or, just like a schoolboy. I was moving in my teenage years and, I'd started fishing and that was it. I kind of never looked back, really. Yeah.
So, you do speak openly about it, and you did mention that you did struggle with some your own mental health struggles in the past. Do you want to delve into that a little? Just tell us your experience, what your symptoms were.
Yeah, well, I think it started. I kind of went. I'd always wanted to kind of go to uni and kind of get out of my kind of environment. I just found, like I love my hometown, I love the people, and I just didn't feel it kind of quite fitted me out. I wanted to live my own life. I wanted to kind of travel. I wanted to, I had a passion for music, so I kind of wanted to, get out of the town really. I'd been uni, done a HND, kind of struggled to kind of tap into the media or the music world, and just felt like really kind of down on my luck. Broke up with my girlfriend, and just, do you know what? I remember like having a bad winter and just feeling like it never stopped. Just kind of feeling sluggish, heavy.
Yeah.
Then, I'd started kind of getting into lifestyle, 18, 19, going out, drinking to excess. Experimenting with a few recreational drugs, and ended up kind of like, just being a weekend warrior, just working hard, playing hard. And it just got to the stage where I just felt like, where's this going? I was just like swallowed up with it really. Just negative, didn't see how I could move forward. So I was kind of just surviving day to day. It's funny you mention that, Dave, because I remember getting into night fishing, and I remember like when the weekends had approached, like say if I used to, I'd drive up to a place called Topcliffe on the River Swale, and do a bit of barbel fishing, do a bit of night fishing, and say if I went on a Thursday, I'd get the bug, and then I'd be there on the Friday and the Saturday, and then it'd keep me on the straight and narrow. Like I wouldn't be going out, I'd just be tying rigs, and so looking back, it's helped me in so many ways. That it's just a supportive community that I wouldn't have had any otherwhere else really.
So, like you were saying about you used to take up the fishing and do your night fishing, obviously, like you say, keep on the straight and narrow. Did it get to a point where you noticed your mental health? Did you get to a point where you did seek further help with it, or was it just through the fishing that you was lucky to find that way of getting through that bad period?
I remember kind of having a really bad patch. I think it was 8-9 months. I was fishing constantly, but I wasn't doing much else really. So, and I remember my mum saying to me, like you can't go fishing all your life, and I said like, well, I'm doing a good job at it, but so I was quite extreme, like I still kind of wasn't breaking the chain. Like I got my education, that hadn't worked out. I'd noticed that a bit of peer pressure, like, my friends had started like, buying cars and getting houses, and I just felt like I had nothing to show for it. That kind of keeping up appearances I felt was immense. Let alone I didn't have any opportunities. I didn't have any money in my pocket. I don't come from like an affluent family or background, so it was quite hard. I started scaffolding, working in kind of heavy industry, and just felt like once I got into it, it was hard to get out. I got used to the money and the lifestyle, and I just felt as if I didn't have the direction or the kind of self-belief or the energy to kind of to change. So that's what kind of led me to go to counselling, get some counselling.
So like you say, so counselling helped you, obviously, like you're saying, and you was doing your fishing at the same time. Was that another way you was coping with it as well as your counselling?
Oh, definitely.
Both.
Yeah, it's fishing's just like the healthiest like addiction you can have, really, isn't it? But it definitely really supported it, because obviously I was working in an environment where you're just seeing like steel and concrete, and like the bad weather and that. It was fishing was always just an escape.
Just being open space, isn't it? And just you do literally forget about everything.
especially found with like my anxiety, especially like going through like a kind of bad breakup at the time. When you're young, you don't know any kind of different, really.
True.
And it, just always being on my phone and being anxious, and with the rise of kind of social media, and fishing just kind of removed me from that environment to get back to basics, to enjoy nature and to be comfortable with my own thoughts and feelings,
So, and now you're actually giving something back, aren't you, as well now, because you're actually a counsellor yourself, giving back to that cause.
Yeah, so I'm a qualified counsellor and psychotherapist. I currently have a small independent practice that I'm trying to launch, and I volunteer for a great charity called Off the Record, which is down in Church Street, Twickenham, and it's a free counselling service that offers 12 sessions to 12 to 24-year-olds in the borough of Richmond upon Thames. So it's a great service, and it's I guess it's my way in kind of like giving back, really. But I think that's why like Tackling Minds and your work like resonates with me so much. It's a combination of my kind of two loves, the counselling and the fishing. It's a combination.
Yeah, you could have a name for that somewhere. I'm sure there might be a niche in the market there.
Do you know what? My dream is to maybe get a tackle shop and to have a counselling room out the back, and then I can call it Hook, Line and Think. Yeah. But yeah.
So if anybody's like, listening to this and they are going through a crappy time, and not everybody knows where to go in terms of to get help, do they? And I only know through my personal experiences, and so it comes second nature to myself. What would you suggest to anybody who is listening?
I'd say from my own experience, just kind of reach out, like negative thinking and addictions and depression all seem to kind of, the fueled and the gathering, the mustering, the kind of darkness, don't they? Yeah. So talking about it just shines a light on your problems, and what sometimes when you talk about your problems and you flesh them out, you can see a way to overcome them, or they don't seem as bad, or you can explore your feelings. It's it's
much of a cliche it is, and talking does help. It's so true, isn't it? And there is,
massively.
We all know the stigma that is attached to mental health, but who gives a shit? Just nobody's opinion matters other than your own, and speaking about it is the best therapy out there, 100%.
Oh, yeah, massively. Like, now to me, my integrity and my moral compass is like I live and breathe it, and I invest it in the kind of counselling. Like where I used to work in the corporate world, and it was very, it was very cloak and dagger, and I felt, especially from my experience, if you did kind of talk about your struggles, they could be kind of misinterpreted and, dare say, kind of used against you, really.
Yeah. Right, mate. Well, it's an absolute pleasure talking to you, and thank you for giving us your insight and showing other people, speaking about mental health, and obviously there shouldn't be a stigma to it. It's okay to talk about it. So yeah, thank you for that. I'll just have to
thank you for having us today.
Sorry.
No, thank you for having us. It's great, and big respect. I really appreciate the good and the positive work that you're doing to give back to the communities through the medium of fishing. Yeah, fantastic. But
Go on.
Give us a shout when you get some of that merchandise done, because I'll definitely have some t-shirts and hoodies, and I'll wear them. I'll wear them down here when I fish for the matches and kind of out and about. Be my pleasure.
Really, definitely. I mean, I do get quite a lot of messages, but things, aren't just quite ready to ship them out. There is quite a lot that's going in the background, unfortunately. I'm as eager as anybody else is to receive them. So it's only a matter of time now. Just as I say, just working on a few things and making sure that everything's set up correctly and I'm not messing people around. So You know, I'd rather send out a really quality item and be a quality service as well at the same time. So it'll be worth the wait. All right, buddy. Well, thank you very much for your time, and yeah, we'll
thank you, Dave.
Catch up again.
Cheers, mate. Tight lines.
Tight lines. All right.
See you.